Hello and welcome to Cookie Snack Attack and Seriously Sweet. This is Amy. I hope you all are having a fantastic evening. I sent the text twice tonight because Kathy was saying she didn't receive one. I've confirmed that it has gone out twice. I have 2 confirmation notices. So we're just checking to make sure that they are going to everyone. So everyone on the text alert system was text twice within the last 5 minutes. So maybe over in the comments, let me know if you are receiving them. And if you didn't get either of them, maybe you need to sign up again. Something could have changed with your carrier. But that is as much as I know about that this evening. Hello, everyone. I've been posting your hellos and your comments. I just wanted to make sure we touched in on that. If you haven't signed up for text alerts at all yet, please text the word the word live stream to the phone number 540-870-0726, and we will get you text alerts on our live streams. Okay. All right, here we go. How fun is this? We have so much to do tonight, and I can't wait. Hello, everyone. How are you tonight? Thank you for returning for part 2 of parchment embossing. I'm so excited about that. I want to tell you first, though, give me just a second. I had a little bit of technology issues earlier and could not get... I couldn't get the thing to record when I was doing the drawing, and I didn't want to hold up a bunch of time for tonight. So I wanted to let you know that our winner in the drawing, and if you won what I'm about to tell you, it means that you attended the live or the replay of the prep class for our Valentine 2022 class, or you attended the live or the follow-up class and posted stating that you had watched the replay for the main class that was this past Saturday for Valentine 2022, Key to My Heart. The class is still up for sale. It is all pre-recorded at this point now, though. There will be no more live segments, but you are welcome to post any comments or questions you have in the class group once you're part of the class group. And so our winner, does everybody remember what the prize was? Timbo from Cakes by Timbo donated one of those really cool class in a box Valentine teddy bear theme boxes to be given away to the winner of our prize for our Valentine 2022 class. Isn't that so cool? He's the greatest. So when I tell you the name of the person that won, I need you to message me on the Seriously Sweet page. Go find Seriously Sweet on Davis Street, and I need you to message me that what your address is. Now, remember, and I could not verify, I cannot remember if this person is United States or Canada. If you are Canada, you will win access to all of the tutorials, but not the box. We'll give the box to a second person, okay? You will get all of the free tutorials and then potentially another free tutorial from me on something else, okay? So that your value is roughly the same. If you are in the United States, you will get the box, and once you have the box, you have access to the pre-recorded tutorials, and your box will be shipping directly to you from Timbo. He's just waiting to receive the address. So who is ready for this? Anyone? Come on, tell me you're ready. Somebody tell me you're ready. Anybody? Anybody? Does everybody know what the prize is and what it's for? And are we ready? Hi, Kat. Hi, Allison. Hi, Cindy. And don't forget, if you were in the live class of either prep or the actual class, you got 2 entries. If you did the follow-up classes, you got 1 entry each for that if you couldn't watch the live, okay? Everybody good to go? Kathy, did you end up receiving a text or both of the texts? Have you investigated that? All right, you guys are all ready. You're ready to go. Okay, so the name of our winner is Sharon Fuller. Sharon, are you on here tonight? I hope you're on here. Sharon Fuller. So let me type it in the comments. I'm going to say was our class winner, Sharon. Make sure you message me. I'm putting a bunch of exclamation points. You guys tell her congratulations. It should be posting in all of the groups. So Sharon, congratulations. We're super happy. If you're in Canada, you won all of the free tutorials and the templates so that you can cut out your own cookies to do the class, the Valentine Bear class with, it's a pre-recorded classes with Timbo. If you're in the United States, you get the box and the classes, okay? Yay! Oh, I see Sharon. I figured Sharon Webb. I figured when you heard it, you would be like, wait, what'd you say? But it definitely came up Sharon Fuller. Sorry about that. I should have pre-warned you in a message so you wouldn't have heart failure. So much fun though, right? Okay, guys, and at the bottom of the screen, the little ticker that's going across is to encourage you to sign up on our YouTube channel, which is seriously, let me wait till it comes around so I can say it with the video. It's Seriously Sweet Cupcakes with an S YouTube channel. All of the videos for over a year now are organized by date on there under the video. Yes, that is who it was, Cindy. They're all organized on YouTube so you can find them easy. It's going to be really easy for you to go there and look up past tutorials. Plus, everything on your new Cookie Snack Attack Cookie Education System cards has a hyperlink that if you save the PDF file on your computer and you ever want to go back to that cookie, that live link, once you open that PDF file up and click on that live link will take you to the exact video on YouTube, so you don't even have to do any searching. So we're making it as easy as possible. So let's say hello to just a couple more people. I think Julie's passing through. Hello, Rebecca. Sharon Webb, how are you? Somebody better message Sharon Fuller and tell her that she won because I don't see her. Hey, Lavelle, how are you? Hi, Cindy. Pamela, hello. Hi, Nadine. I bet you're cold. Let's see. It was Sharon Fuller that won the class in a box gift that was donated by Timbo, by Cakes by Timbo. Nicole, die cutter Hobby Lobby is food safe or not? Icing Images die cutter is food safe. Okay, are you talking about the actual metal dies that you use to cut out wafer paper, or are you talking about the machine itself? Because the machine is a crafting machine. So this morning, rewatch that video. I did explain you need to go get a whole separate set of plates. Even if you have the machine and you've been card crafting with it, you can still do what we were doing with embossing this parchment. However, you need to have a whole separate set of plates that's strictly dedicated to food purposes. And then you can read up about the Spellbinders dies that are on their page to see if they have a special coating or not. But they have a great price on them, okay? She could have passed out. She might have passed out, Sally. How funny. But congratulations, Sharon. And you were so much fun in class. We're just so happy that you won. All right. So let's jump right in. As you know, I flooded and outlined and flooded the cookies today. So I popped mine in the dehydrator for several hours. One thing I should warn you about, I don't normally put them in the dehydrator as we discussed because I like for them to sit overnight and dry naturally. And when they dry like that overnight, the paper will stay adhered. So you'll be peeling it off. But I did forget to mention to you earlier, if you're doing a demo and you're doing what I did earlier and you've got to push them through the dehydrator at a higher than normal temperature just to get them dry so they're ready for your next video 6 or 7 hours later, then there is always the potential that they will dry out really well and very fast. And then the parchment is just going to come off in the dehydrator, which happened on one of these cookies. So this cookie, the parchment was just loose in the dehydrator when I opened it. So I'm going to lift it so you can see the pattern in the icing. This is the one that is like the aspen or birch trees, the evergreen trees with the snowflakes. Okay. And everything did really well, except this little section right here. I guess it was the last little bit that hadn't dried. And when the fan from the dehydrator was blowing, it looks like it just popped that off. And the icing that last little, holdout piece was hanging on here. That will not happen to you if you dry these overnight, which is what you should do so you don't dry your cookies out. This is also the cookie that you guys asked me to put additional pressure on to make sure that the icing went off the edges so that I could show you how to clean up the icing. Okay, so we'll do that in a minute. Now, this one is partially attached, so we're going to roll it back and peel the rest of it off. This has a great pattern on it. Look, this is the one that looks windblown. It has like that flourish bit that looks like an icy wind is blowing through, and it's got snowflakes. And this one also went off the cookie when it was in the dehydrator. So we'll clean that one up too. Now let's check out our Snowpeople family and see what happened with this one. All right. So this one, I'm peeling off. It did not, hopefully it's not going to pull the icing off. It's a much larger surface, so it takes longer to dry, but I'm hoping this is going to peel off without peeling chunks of icing. It feels pretty good. You can see I'm just gently working it up from one corner to the other. Yep. And then it popped right off. This is, and these guys, by the way, I have been able to reuse these as much as 6 times. So don't throw them out immediately. However, having said that, please take a caveat that if you are going to reuse them, you should make sure that you don't cross your flavors in case someone has an allergy. So if you do a lemon icing, you need to go back and mark this or put it in a Ziploc bag where you can handwrite that this was used on lemon so that you don't take the lemon and go to vanilla. Or let's say you have an almond icing. You don't want to take one from almond and put it on another flavor and then have somebody that has an allergy to almonds. So you'll need to keep track of that too, okay? Because you can't wash them. You know, they're not things that you can re-sanitize. But I have been able to use them and get a very nice impression up to 6 times. One of the sheets, it had such nice embossing in it, I was able to use it up to 8 times. One of my wood grain experiments, I went 8 cookies with the one piece. All right, look at this. Look how pretty. Look at that. Can you just see this as a PYO just like this? And of course, we're going to clean up the edges, but can you imagine doing your PYOs like this, getting embossing folders that with a full design like this, doing it on a larger cookie, and then just including your paint palette and your disposable paintbrush for the kids? Then you don't have to worry about any of that black outline smearing. Or if you are one of the people that likes to do the airbrushing, you don't have to worry about that. And this can be done ahead of time. And because there's no extra icing or coloring on this, you can freeze these. So if you did them well ahead of time to get ready for like a farmer's market or something like that, these could be made and layered and frozen. It's nothing but royal icing. So if you just handle them properly and follow your normal freezing and storing techniques, imagine how many of these you could get ahead with and not have to worry about any color bleed when you thaw them out. All right, how's that? Okay, so let's do this one first. What I normally do, I don't want to get my hands terribly sticky. Okay, so I'm going to put a glove on for this. No one is eating these. That's not why I'm putting a glove on. I just don't want to get sticky and have to get up and go wash before we start in on the rest of our tutorial. Now, of all 3 of the cookies, this is the only one that had a little tiny air bubble, and it's in the sky as part of the snowflakes, so that will be perfectly fine. So I'm just going to run my hand first in a up going down motion on the side, because these are very, very thin overhang pieces. And I like that it's rough. It doesn't bother me at all that it's got this ripply edge now, although I am going to show you how to clean that up. It doesn't bother me because it's a snow cookie, so it would be perfectly fine. Okay, so let's just wipe that off. Now, if you want to get really particular, go ahead and use your zester. And what you would do for your zester, if your icing is dry all the way through, now I have to be a little bit gentle. I'm handling this much more gently than I normally would, because I know that in between this top coat and where it joins the cookie, that's still damp. It has to be, because I only did these 4 or 5 hours ago. But if I really want to clean up my icing, you see I can use my zester and do a little shaving on my icing. I think for me, when I do cookies like this, I don't want to do these extra steps. I just don't have time for them, especially if I'm planning a large order for somebody, like for a school or something. So I take these little nuances about working with different mediums into account when I plan my designs. So this in particular, I would be totally okay if it had those rough edges. I certainly wouldn't be sanding down 300 of these. I would just break off the edges and keep moving. And if I was planning this for a wedding, I'd plan it on a design where if it had a little bit extra, once I broke off the edges, it would fit in. So a tree is a perfect thing for that. So let's jump over to this. I'm going to flip it this way so you can see it, but typically I hold it like this and then just break off the side. So I'm going to pop from the top to the bottom because I want the pressure. Hey, Sally OL, how are you? I want the pressure to come from here going this direction. And I want you to see that the pieces are popping right off. Okay. Now that piece is just too thick, too dry, too hard, not going to come off. So this, you do this at your own risk. I've done this for a long time, so this doesn't affect me at all. But if you are a person that's clumsy with knives, this is not for you. Okay. But cutting away from your body with your X-Acto knife, you can just run along. And so if you don't want to use a zester because this is curved and you just have these little bits to clean up, just run your X-Acto knife sharp edge away from your body. And I'm just using a downward motion so that I cut into that icing and that icing is going to come right off. This is just a trick I learned in putting 3D sculpture pieces together. If I need to really fine tune something, this is a really easy way to do that. But you also don't want to lose a finger. So if you cannot do things like this controlled, this is not the method that you want to use to remove extra icing. So don't send me any doctor bills because you were warned. If you haven't practiced this and you're not good at doing stuff like this, this is not the one that you want to use. Can you see all that on camera? Let's see. And I'm just running it there to get that last little bit off. I'm still gently holding the cookie because I don't want to crack the surface, but it is coming right off, no problem. Now I have something between my thumb and the blade, so I'm going to come back. Oops, that just went all over my computer keyboard. Sorry about that. I want to bring it back this way. I have a stopping point because of the stump, so it's not going to, I'm not going to do it too hard and then run it in and slice my hand. Do you see the difference of why I was going one direction on one side and then one direction on the other side? All right, so you can see it's totally cleaned up from the front. And then I'm just going to take my zester, since we're already doing this, or my grater, and I'm going to file down that edge a little bit. So it has more of that, like, I guess what I want it to look like is like it has that ice crystally look, like an actual snowstorm might have on a tree or something like that. And then right here, I'm just going to pop a little bit of this off. It's not a big concern to me because I'm going to go over it with the thick brown icing and put the stumps on. But if I want to take just a little bit off so it's more level. Oh boy. All right. Look how pretty that is, you guys. Can you see the pattern? Wait until I dust these. Okay. Wait until I put the dust on them and you guys see how much the difference of how much this, and I have, if I'm out of frame, you guys know what I'm doing, but I don't want to get too close to my computer and get a bunch of this in the keyboard. So you've seen it demonstrated on the first two cookies. I might just, if I see that it's scattering too much, I'm just going to pull it back. Now, this one, I'm just going to do a little sanding over here. I'm going to try to break it from the top down to get that larger bit off. And you see I'm breaking away instead of pulling up where it could pull it off the cookie. I'm actually going top down to break off those extra pieces. Whoops. Oh, and guys, I hope that you're using that time at the beginning of the videos now. I put that longer countdown on there so you would have time to chat with each other at the beginning, to post a comment to say where you're from, because you never know when I'm going to pull a name and give something else away. I just like doing presents, so you know that could happen at any time. And also to give you time to share it to your personal pages or your business pages. If you have a cookie group or something and you want to invite your cookie friends, we'd love to have more people join the group. We're very close to hitting 2,000. Can you believe that? We just started this group in June. And it was amazing to me to see how many videos we've actually done. We've taught so many classes since we started the group in June. and how many videos up at this point on YouTube and Facebook and in our Cookie Snack Attack group. It's really just been a ton of fun. A ton of sweet fun. How's that? All right. So let's just get this little bit of extra off. I'm going to pull these paper towels up and put a fresh set down just so that this doesn't go all over my work area. Okay. I'm going to set this to the side. And guys, if we get done early enough tonight, because the next part of this video really shouldn't take that long. So unless there's a ton of questions, when we get done, I'm going to end this video early, and then I'm going to come back on and I'm going to show you guys some stuff that arrived in the mail today. So, and if we don't get done, I'll do it tomorrow because I have to do some more work from the cookie studio tomorrow. I've got a little bit more design work to do to be ready for the first 6 months of the year. Hey, and how cool is it that it's the 25th of January and I have a booking in September too? I was like, everything was filling up between now and June, and we've already started into the second 6 months of the year. So I feel very blessed and very special. So I'm just going to say thank you to everyone that's making that happen because it's making me so happy. Okay, so Gianna, this morning I did a little thing for you in part 1. Wait, that's not how you say your name. Hold on, because you sent me the phonetic. Send me the phonetic again so that I say it right. Now that I've seen it on here, I should have written it down because I like to practice the first few times. I think is it J, like Japan, Ja? It's Ja, Anna? Jana? Jana? I think it may be. You give me the phonetic again because I'm going to get it right. I was trying to pronounce it Italian, but I don't know that that's what it's really supposed to be, right? So I'm super excited about all the stuff that's going on. Thank you, so many of you, for turning back out again tonight. In the last 3 weeks, we've had our highest number. We have really good replay numbers all the time, but we've had, yeah, Jana, right? Jana. All together, quicker, softer sound. Jana. Okay, I think I got it. Thank you. So we have had our highest live viewing for an extended amount of time that we've had in probably the last 6 months, just in the last couple weeks. So who asked about the parchment paper? So I made it. I have a Spellbinders Platinum machine. Yes. Grand Caliber Platinum, one of the newer ones with all the metal wheels and stuff. And I actually made the parchment, the embossed parchment. So I'll tell you quickly what I told everyone this morning, that you can buy embossed parchment sheets with textures from Intricate Edibles, which is sold through Bees Baked Art Supplies. It's just sometimes hard to get them. Sometimes they're not in stock. So you'll have to check the Bees Baked Art site and watch for that. However, I was explaining to everyone that a few weeks ago, Nancy Westfall did a great video, and Nancy does all the stuff with all the machines. So I'm not going to teach you how to use the machines, but I wanted to demonstrate within the group how easy it would be to make beautiful feature cookies with a technique like this, or to do PYOs, or to do things for DIY kits. So I took my winter themed ones while we still have a little bit of winter left, and I made different designs. And I showed you those this morning, and then we discussed how to best apply these to the cookie so that you don't have a bunch of air bubbles, because you don't want to create that concrete texture. So you can see we did really well. The brush technique I showed you this morning really did fantastic on all of these. Okay, do you see? Now, of the parchment pieces, I love this one. This one's awesome. I will definitely be marking this to use this for PYOs or DIYs, okay, for the kids. Like, even if I wanted to put maybe not a PYO with the paint palette, but maybe a PYO with a few of the edible ink markers for the kids so they can just color it depending on what age group you've got. Or if you're doing a whole bunch of these for a classroom and they're sharing edible ink markers, that would be something fun to do. Especially if you have pods of homeschoolers in your area, this is a great project for them. But this one has great detail. You can see it showed up fabulous. So you can leave it just like this if you wanted to, and it's a beautiful cookie. But we're going to go next level with it. And then of these two, I said I would try this one, but I wasn't super happy with the embossing, that it just really, I just wasn't really happy with how deep it was. It's just not as detailed. I wanted a really big bang for my buck type of situation, make a real wow cookie, but I am very pleased with this snowflake and flourish. I think this one turned out just beautiful. Babe, did you see these? Look. Yes. Look. Isn't that great? All right, so guys, here's what we're going to do. This morning, I showed you with blue, but I'm not going to do them all with blue because I need at least one, possibly two, to photograph with my Valentine set, right? So that I keep our whole series together. So I'm going to start first. I'm going to do blue on the one with the snowflakes. And then I think I'll do pink on these other two. And then I'm going to show you different things you can use this with. And I'm just using a very big, soft, puffy brush. It has sprinkles in the handle. Isn't it cute? And it's pink, but it's very soft and fluffy. All right. All right. And we're going to do blue on this one. Okay. So I'm going to let you pick. I don't know that you can really tell on camera, but pastel blue looks more like a frozen blue. And this is baby boy. So I'm going to start with pastel blue. Yes, the other group that did the original video on this was Nancy with the colorful cookie, and she has a full-length tutorial on it. And since she does all the machines, I'm just going to let her do the machines for you because she demoed several machines, and I only have the Spellbinder Grand Caliber, and I know a lot of people really like the Sizzix machine for this. But I already own the regular size and the mini size. Okay, so I'm just prepping my brush. Okay, and now because a little goes a long way with this. Oh, look, you guys, so pretty. So always blot your brush when you're using a sterling pearl and you're dry dusting, because you don't want to put huge lumps of this color on your cookie, right? You just want to dust across it because what you want to do is pull up those raised areas. So look, just that little bit, how much you can see that. Okay. Lavelle, I think the demo the other night was in both of her groups when she was offering for people to join the paid group, I think, but I can't be sure. So you guys will have to check that out. But it was Nancy with the colorful cookie, and I'm not sure if her membership is still open, but if it is, it's very affordable if you're interested. And I have an affiliate link if you guys want to use that. That helps me out. But there is... she was open for enrollment. I'm not sure if she still is or not, but she does enrollment twice a year. I'm sure it'll be open again when we do Spring Cookie-a-thon if you did miss it, but it's very reasonably priced. She does dough rollers. She does 3D printing. She does the machines for Cricut, for Silhouette, for doing stencils. And then most recently, she did how to do the embossing. Can you see that with the blue? All right, let's add a second shade of blue and just see if that does a little bit more. And I love this because we're using a sterling pearl. So sterling pearl is totally food safe, 100% edible, FDA approved. It's by the Sugar Art in Texas, and it's got mica in it, which is what gives it the great shimmer. You guys okay? All right, so we're going to use a little bit of the baby boy. I'm going to show you. See how it's just a little bit darker? So we're going to use a little bit of that, and always just really test these brushes out because you don't want to put too much directly onto the cookie and cover the whole design. You really just want a soft brush to hit the highlights, okay? Oh my goodness. Look, that little bit. Look how beautiful. Let's pull that down. Isn't that pretty? I really like it. So you've created a very highly detailed cookie that you did not have to hand pipe, that can be done ahead of time, and then just your color added after you thaw it out if you want to. Now, I personally don't freeze cookies. Lots of cookiers that do, and I totally understand why they do. And honestly, I don't think you can tell the difference. So I don't think it matters that people do that. It's just not something I do. I've done it before just to test it so I can tell you guys about what's going on with it. Now, how about a little diamond dust? I don't think there's anything wrong with doing it. I just try not to do it. So let's hit, oh, you guys, can you imagine this for like a winter Wonderland birthday? Wouldn't that be so cute? Or like these trees for your gnomes. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? Wow, I like that. I really like that, and I like that embossing folder. And I found you one and dropped an Amazon link in the part 1 video this morning. So you guys check that out. Oh, I really need to do a pink one, but I really think I want to do my Snowpeople in blue and photograph these two together. So we're going to go back to blue for just a second, okay? Because I just think the Snowpeople will be so beautiful done in blue. Oh, and I did want to show you this. So before I do the blue, let's use Brilliant Sparkle. Brilliant Sparkle is something that I got you guys in one of our kits recently. And I just want you to see if you have a really monotone or very winter looking shower and you're doing like whites and grays and maybe some baby blues, look what it does. Look what it does. It pops out the design and it's super sparkly if you just buff the Brilliant Sparkle directly on. Okay, so that is gorgeous too. And I want to show you this one. Did I get it out? I think I did. Hold on. No, we're going to go back to Baby Boy. I want to do this one with the Baby Boy. Again, another Sugar Art Sterling Pearl. Love these colors. Always test them so you can check for shades. Now, I'm going to try to very carefully just go across this cookie. Brilliant Sparkle, Sally, if you don't have it, you need to get some because you're going to need it this summer when we do our Under the Sea things. It's great for pearls, for mermaid things, unicorns. If anybody does a lot of unicorn parties, you'll want some of that. It's fabulous. So if you don't have it, order that. But it is from the Sugar Art. Okay, ready? I'm just going to try to buff back and forth. I need to get a little more color back on the brush, though, because I want to catch the ridges. But I don't want to fill down in the holes. I really just want to hit the highlights of the lines. Oh, how cute. And the snowflakes. You guys look. Isn't that pretty? Oh, yeah, I like that. So if you're going across it sideways, do you see how it's just picking? I'll lift it so you can see it, but let me get a little more color on there. I always have to go a little bit darker for you guys to see. And for photography than what I would actually do on the cookie. Like if this was for the customer, I'd stop right now because if you pick this up, it's very obvious where the outline is, but it's harder for you guys to see on camera. So I'm just going to give it a couple more once overs with this blue and hit it with some blue diamond dust. Oh, it's so pretty. And how gorgeous would the right design be done this way if it was for like a wedding? Can you just see this? I mean, this is really a lot of bang for your buck. And you saw it took us almost look at that. Isn't that beautiful? It took us almost no time to put this together earlier today. And the main amount of time invested in this cookie was making the parchment and then getting it dry. All right, so I have some diamond dust on there so we have that winter shimmer look. Now, I don't have it ready. I may do it before I photograph this tomorrow, but you know I have the crushed up wafer paper that's so fine it looks like snow. So I think I'm going to come back and down here I'm going to add some additional icing and put a little bit of that wafer paper so it looks icy, like crystal icing on it. And then I may just add some white and do the same thing for the pom-poms, but the rest of it I'm going to leave just like it is because the beauty of these is that they're gorgeous and you don't need to do anything else to them. But I think I want to put a little bit more blue on here. Let me just buff a little bit more because what happens once that coloring's in your brush and you buff, it's going to hit the higher parts and there's plenty of color in the brush. So I don't actually need to pick up any additional color. Isn't that pretty? All right, but we need to do one in pink. You should see my keyboard. I should have remembered to put some press and seal over it before we started. It's all over the keyboard. Okay, but that's okay. Who can't use a little diamond dust in their life, right? All right, let's buff that out and let's do a little bit of pink because I want to show you the pink. So we're going to put a little Candy Kiss. Also, I'm using all Sugar Art. diamond dust or sterling pearl items tonight, but we're going to go in layers on the pink because I'm going to go from light to darker pink so you can see some different pinks while we're doing this. So I'm going to start with a color that came out in the Valentine kit called Fairy. This is my new jar. Haven't even opened it yet. Let's see. Let's pull some of this out and blot it. This is almost like a peachy skin tone if you needed to do like a flesh tone on something. I'm going to buff this on just so you can see the color. I love it because it's really iridescent, but it's not like over the top pink, right? It's just pretty. Now, technically, if I were doing these for a shower or something, I would probably be doing them in greens because of the trees. That would probably just be my preference. All right, now Aurora Rose is a color that I love to use for cheeks. It's an elite color. So I'm going to show you the difference in putting an elite color on versus a sterling pearl. What I just did was a sterling pearl. Now we're going to buff some just straight out Aurora Rose, which is, if you see any of my cookies with cheeks, this is the color I always use for cheeks. In fact, it says faces on it because cheeks was too long. So I wrote faces on the jar. So I would always pull the right pink because it just does a beautiful job. It's nice for light areas, but you can make it really dark if you need to. Yeah, I'm just not super happy with this particular pattern, you guys. I don't feel like it's giving me the pop that I want. So I have already labeled it not to do any more of those, but I did label the other two. This one is Sweetheart from the Sincerely Holly collection. So put a little bit of that on so you can see this shade. Yeah, this is a really pretty. I really like Sincerely Holly too. It's very pretty. And mixing these pinks actually looks great on here. I'm just not terribly thrilled with the pattern on this. I don't feel like it was a good enough embossing. Like the folder itself just didn't have the same bang. This one's ultra pink. So let's see what this looks like, okay? This is a much hotter, brighter pink. Can you see it? So you can see the shades of pink of the colors we just used. And I'm just going to do a little, ooh, look at that. It's very dark. It's a very, very dark pink. So for a baby shower for a little girl, this would be great. But on this particular pattern, I can see the pattern great. I'm going to lift it up so you can see it. But I'm not happy with this particular design because I don't feel like the embossing is clear enough. Let's just put a little bit of Candy Kiss on it before I lift it up, just to show you what it would look like with a little bit of sparkle. Okay, and if you have a little too much of the diamond just a little sideways rub, you can rub some of that off. You can actually see the texture. So it's not the color I'm unhappy with or the tree or the buffing part of this. It's that you can't really tell what the design is supposed to be. Like, I just don't feel like you get the same pop off that one that you get off this one. This one's very clearly a flourish and the snowflakes, right? And this is very clearly a snow family. Do you see the difference? What I mean? Like, this is good just texture, but as far as specifically looking like the evergreen trees and snowflakes, you can't really tell that's what it is. So anytime you get in one of the embossing folders, if you do have an embosser machine and you order in folders, check it before you do a whole bunch. Like, don't order just one folder and be sure that that one's going to work, because I went through, I think I had a little bit over 40 embossing folders that I tested over the weekend. And I talk about that in the video this morning, so I won't keep you on here for that. But I think I tested a little bit over 40. And I was happy with 28 or 29 of them, like really happy. But the other ones are just not going to, they're just never going to be just right for cookies. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. So Sharon, in person, it looks very different from the crumpled parchment, and you can see the treetops. You just can't see them as clearly as the other two. So it doesn't have the crumpled parchment concrete texture look to it, but it's just not, I'm just not happy with that folder. I knew I wasn't going to be, but I had it, and it was my only other snowflake one, and I wanted you to see multiple designs, and I wanted to talk to you about not getting upset if one doesn't work out. right? I'm trying to get the diamond dust before it settles down in the keys. So, okay, so let's go back through the colors. All right, let's look at the colors. So for tonight on the cookies, in the diamond dust, I use Candy Kiss and Frosted Blue. Okay. Frosted Blue is just like Frozen. So if you do a lot of princess things, or I guess Cinderella or Elsa, right? This is very much that color. It's beautiful. And Candy Kiss is just a gorgeous pink. It's not too hot, it's not too light, and it adds a lot of glisten to your item. So let's go through the blues we used first. And then Brilliant Sparkle, if you did not get the kit that this came in, or get some of this in a kit, it might have been a sample size, then you should order some of this at some point. But if you're getting the Easter kit, I am reasonably certain I'm going to have a Sugar Art coupon for you for students that'll be good for 2 weeks from the time you take the class, and that will be just for the students in the class. So if you pick up an Easter box and take the class, or if you just outright buy the class, because we sell the classes separately because so many people don't have to have the boxes. They have so much cookie paraphernalia that they may not need the cutters and all of that. So in any case, if you don't have this, you'll want to get this before summer. It's just great for buffing on a nice, very like mother of pearl. It has that mother of pearl look to it. All right, let's go through the blues we used. We just did 2 blues tonight. We used pastel blue, which is this blue on the right. And then this one is Baby Boy. And both of these are beautiful. They're both 100% edible, FDA approved. They're both a sterling pearl. Baby Boy is a little bit bit lighter, not a lot. And pastel blue is very much a great coordinating one to go with the Frosted Blue Diamond Dust. It looks very good together. No, our box reveal for the Easter box will be on Friday, and I'm going to try to do it early in the afternoon to give you a full 24 hours to view it. I am still waiting on 2 items that show out for delivery, so hopefully those are going to be here tomorrow. All right, and our pinks, guys, let's review our pinks, and let's go. Hopefully I'll remember in the order that I did it. I think the first one I used was the Sterling Pearl Fairy, which I love. This is great, and it'll be good for you for springtime, for gnomes and fairies and like the daffodils in a jar, this type of thing. This is a great color. This just has that very earthy rose toned down look to it. It's quite beautiful. It doesn't look like rose gold, but it's not a true pink either. It's like pink with a little gold in it, but it's not to the level of rose gold. I hope that makes sense. It's a very beautiful color, and it's a sterling pearl. Then I showed you Aurora Rose, which is the one I like to use for doing cheeks and pink highlights on faces, or the pink cheeks on an Easter bunny, or the nose on an Easter bunny. Aurora Rose is my favorite, and this is an elite color from the Sugar Art, okay? All right, and then we did not use that one tonight. Then did we? Oh, yes. Wait, did we? Yes, we used, did we? Yeah, this is the one, Sweetheart. We used the Sincerely Holly Collection Sweetheart, and I think this was in last year's, maybe this year's too, but it was definitely in last year's Valentine box from the Sugar Art. And it's that beautiful medium pink, and then that really vibrant pink was ultra pink sterling pearl. And when I say pink, I'm talking heliconia or fuchsia pink. Like this is that. And it is a very dark, bright pink, like pink lipstick. Okay. All right. I'll pull these all back in frame. Hey, sweetheart, you want to come get over here? Come get in one of your beds. Good girl. They're so sweet, my pups. They always ask for permission, so they stand way off to make sure it's okay. And then I feel bad if I don't notice them because they're just sitting there looking. All right, so let's pull this back in. This is our Snowpeople, and then our Snowflake with the wind blowing, these two, and we've discussed different ways that you could use this, okay? Make sure you watch this morning's video. It has a ton of information in it. And then this is the pink one that we did just to play around with, to have a pink one. Now, to salvage the pink one, there won't be a card for the pink one. Your 2 cards will be for these 2. In your Cookie Snack Attack Cookie Education System cards, it'll be photographs of these 2. But before I photograph them, I'm going to go back and add a nice tree stump at the bottom here. And then I'm going to add some edible wafer paper with some diamond dust in it down at the bottom for snow, and maybe a few little add-on bits just to pump up the level of the cookie, right? Something I could do quick and easy. You could even do this with white sanding sugar if you wanted to, but I want to see what that wafer paper looks like. So that's probably what I'll test. But your 2 cards will be for these 2 cookies this week. And then this one, I'll just put with the Valentine set. I may do something else to it, like paint on top of it or something, just to see what it does. Since I don't like the design anyway, and I won't be keeping the cookie for anything in particular. So you may see a photo of this pop up, just a photo in the Cookie Snack Attack group later this week, okay? Don't forget, if you do emboss the parchment, parchment paper, if you go back to this morning's video, I dropped links for the full-size grand caliber, the mini grand caliber, a Sizzix machine for parchment squares, and for a couple of embossing folders, okay? So, let me check this last question, Lavelle. The flakes. Okay, the flakes for wafer paper to make the snow. This is a pack I actually bought from Bee's Baked Art from Intricate Edibles. It's snow that they made with wafer paper because I wanted to see if what they made was different than what I make and use on cakes. And it actually looks exactly the same. And I do use a coffee grinder to make mine. So when I make mine, it is double density wafer paper. I break it up into small bits, put it in the coffee grinder, keep grinding, get it really fine. When it comes out, I pour it into a Ziploc bag, and then I add a little diamond dust, which already has the mica in it, and I just smush it all around really good so it becomes sparkly. And then that's what I make to use on cakes and to put on as cupcake sprinkles, and then on cookies, of course. But I just wanted to see if what they made was different. And to me, it looks almost identical. So you could make it very easily yourself if you already have like a little coffee bean grinder. But again, don't use it for coffee and then use it to make wafer paper, snow, or icicle looking pieces for cookies, right? It has to be dedicated just to the purpose of your cookies. Otherwise, you're going to bring flavors along with you. So, you know, some people don't want to spend that and have 4 of those hanging around to use for different things. I had one, and I had bought a second one to use for something else. I never got around to using the second one. So I thought, hey, let's try this. And so I compared the 2 and they were real similar. But if you don't feel like doing any of that, I would highly recommend the Intricate Edibles. It's very nice. It's very sparkly. I liked it. And it was already very, very fine particles. So I think you would enjoy it if you want to test it out to see if it's worth maybe getting your own machine to make some. Okay. All right. So I think that's it for tonight, unless you guys have any questions. I think we're good. And again, we congratulated Sharon. I'll try to get a hold of her, and we're going to get a box sent directly to her if she's in the United States. If she's not in the United States, she's going to have access to the class tutorials for Timbo's Valentine class. By the way, you guys, check my page on Cookie Snack Attack because Timbo posted earlier today. And thank you guys. I had a scheduled post going up. I had scheduled one to go up this afternoon. So I was trying to space them out so it wasn't so many things at once, because then they won't show up in your feed. But thank you to everyone who was on the ball this afternoon and was putting posts in the Cookie Snack Attack group about that they had seen Timbo was releasing more boxes tomorrow at 1 o'clock. I didn't post all of those because I didn't want to mess up the algorithm. I just let the scheduled post go and took the other ones down. But I wanted to tell you, thank you so much for being on top of it and letting your fellow cookiers know that he had another box release plan. So it's tomorrow at 1 o'clock. And it will be the last restocking. It won't be like last time where he had enough product to do 2 or 3. It's just whatever. Tomorrow is the last day for that really cute Valentine box that comes with the tutorials. Okay. All right. I'm going to jump off, and it's almost 8. So how about I jump off, and I think what I'll do, guys, since it's been 2-hour-long tutorials today, I think I'll pop on tomorrow and show you all of the new things, and I'll try to do it around lunchtime. So maybe around 12 tomorrow, and that way you can watch the replay. Because then I want to go and finish getting everything else I can possibly get done with your Easter boxes done, so that if those last items pop in, I literally just have to pop them in, finish the paper, put that cute sticker on there, and tape the boxes shut. I want to have as much done as possible because we might get more bad weather on Friday. I sure hope we don't. if it's just going to be ice and rain and yucky, I mean, I can handle the snow. I like the powdery snow, but if it's just going to be ice and yucky, cold, freezing weather, I could do without that, right? All right, you too. So thank you guys so much. Thank you for coming back for part 2 tonight, and I will catch up with all of you later. Thank you and have a wonderful evening.